Okay. First, before we actually get to the guy defending Hashinshin, who's, of course, the Chud in Chud Watch, kids are kids, yo. Indeedly do. I agree. This guy, Yasuo, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, who I believe is another streamer, I assume on Twitch, probably another League streamer. He's going to give, like, a brief synopsis of the whole situation for us in case we don't know what's going on. If anyone doesn't know, this will sort of bring you up to parody. Dan Rossi Draws, thank you for continuing your Twitch Prime subscription for 3 months. Wow. 3 whole months of subscriptions. Dan Rossi Draws, great timing. I was just watching your last Chud Watch while working on some art. I hope you do the big art. I hope the art is the artiest. She broke up with him. No one deserves his abuse. Is that in regard to Hashinshin? I don't know. I don't know anything about him in terms of abuse, other than, you know, obviously, like, grooming and preying on children, but... Anyway, so this guy, who's another streamer, maybe check him out. Oh no, Tate Speech, yeah. Forgot we talked about him briefly. This channel is Fun of Legends, and this guy's name, it looks like, is Yasuo. Y-A-S-S-U-O. So if you like this, I guess check him out. But he's going to give sort of a synopsis of the Hashinshin situation, so we can all be, you know, up to speed.
I'm so lost what happened to Hashinshin. Let me give you a TLDR. Girls have been accusing him of being creepy and a pedophile for years now. He's always said it was fake. He's always said people are out to get him. He's always threatened them with legal actions. He sent his fans to harass the girls nonstop. Nothing but hate. Called them bitches and whores on the timeline. Said they're fake and manipulative and doctored evidence. All this. They come out with enough evidence to where it's irrefutable. I speak on it, Dom speaks on it, and it's getting attention of a lot of people in the League community. He admits to it because he has nowhere else to go. It's literally just, you can't say it's fake at this point because there's so much proof that you can't say it's fake. He admits to it, and his excuse is that he had carbon monoxide poisoning for 8 years and had memory loss, and then he said he was going to kill himself, and then he said he checked himself into a mental asylum. But he's like tweeting up all these updates, which I don't know. I see it as like him trying to gain sympathy still, but...
Carbon monoxide is an interesting justification for your pedophilia. That's not one I've heard before.
I just despise the guy for the shit he's done. Honestly forgivable since he had so many outplays on Aatrox.
Is he gonna continue, or was that it? Is it just gonna play League of Legends the whole rest of the video?
You might check. I might need Bard up here.
I don't play League, so I have no idea what's going on. Alright, let's take a look at some of these receipts. So basically, this Hashinshin guy, you know, is, getting accused of hitting on a minor. She posted receipts, DMs from Discord. She was 16, I think, at the time. Well, he was an adult. I'm not exactly sure how old he was, but he was certainly not a minor. So let's take a look at some of the... These are just some keywords she searched. So we have, he says, "Psh, you'll always be bottom to me. My bottom. I better see better on bottom. What are you doing today, better on bottom?" And then they have, still 16. How's life as a 16-year-old? How you doing, Miss 16? So basically, no possible chance this person did not know. Oh, God. No. I don't want to hear myself talk. If I wanted to hear myself talk, I'd just watch the stream. So basically, he knew she was 16. Like, for sure. So you're 16 now. And then this person says, I'm not 16 yet. Hashinshin says, rubs your butt. Maya, don't be afraid of Big Bro. Big Bro is good at making you feel good. You gotta trust Big Bro.
This is fucking sick.
Big Bro says no.
I'm gonna go vomit, chat. This is awful.
Big Bro just wants to make you happy.
Hannah. Hannah, you can't. I can't.
I know, it's awful.
You can't read it.
I'm gonna read it.
Don't, just please.
We didn't see that cute Maya butt. Miss Busy Butt slaps your butt. Off you go. Rubs your butt. Maya, don't be afraid of Big Bro. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God, it's so bad.
You know they can't see whatever you're looking at.
Oh, did I? Oh, shit. Sorry, hold on. I'll pull it up.
It was probably for the best. And yes, hi, I'm Baha. This lovely lady's girlfriend.
Let's see, rubs your butt. We'll have a good time then, Maya. We didn't see that cute Maya butt. Say you're a cute girl in chat, and be my cute little girl. You're so cute. You're always cute, though. You don't deserve daddy role, but I'm your daddy. Then how do I be your daddy? How come I'm not your daddy yet? You're such a daddy's girl. Did you give me cute pics? Gimme a cute pic then. Just a pic. You need to show me a pic. You know what I really like about your latest pics? Alright, that's the end. That's the end of the evidence. And this person has evidence that these aren't, like, doctored, basically. They showed the DMs and everything in... They have multiple videos of this. I won't go, you know, over the whole thing, but, you know. So, basically, this Hashinshin guy's a fucking dirtbag. He's scum. He's grooming an underage girl. Completely fucked. Completely fucked up shit. And she did a whole Google Doc with, you know, receipts. So, I don't know why anyone would want this, but just because I feel it's good to, like, cite my sources, here it is in the chat if you would like to look at that. So now that we have background on this Hashinshin dirtbag, who has luckily been banned from Twitch, so he's done. His career is fucking over. Thankfully. Let's take a look at this gentleman, Base FZZ, who's going to tell us why, in fact, despite the fact that we have receipts on receipts, how Hashinshin is actually not a pedophile.
So, this is a tough one, okay? Like, the conversation...
It's not a tough one. It's not tough if you recognize that he's, like, grooming underage women. And by the way, that's only the one we have receipts for. Other women have come forward and said that he did basically the same thing to them. Which I'm inclined to believe based upon the receipts we do have. Not difficult to say this Hashinshin guy, complete dirtbag, deserves to be banned, deserves to be investigated by the police, right?
Is very difficult, but I think very important. It needs to be discussed in a very frank, rational, and calm way. This
rational? It's so rational to defend pedophiles. Jesus Christ. I hate how the terms, like, logical and rational have come to, like, be ascribed to the absolute worst kind of people on the internet. Let me just talk about this rationally. I don't feel emotions or have empathy for victims, therefore I'm rational. Ugh.
conversation makes people very uncomfortable, but it needs to be had because pedophilia as a word is being weaponized way too much, and the actual act
against pedophiles, yeah. Yep. 'Cause it's bad. Because that's a thing you shouldn't be.
of pedophilia itself is being a little bit defended too much. especially by liberal people. I'll explain.
What? Please give me an example of pedophilia being defended by the left. I'll wait. Please, someone, give me some receipts. Because whenever I see someone defending pedophiles, always tends to come from the right. People like this who are gonna, like, devil's advocate for actually, he's not a pedophile, he's, an ephebophile. As if the distinction fucking matters.
It doesn't make a lot of sense on face value, but as I explain it will begin to make more sense, right? So first we have to discuss this. So Hashinshin is a Twitch streamer. He streams League of Legends, and I actually happen to be quite the fan of Hashinshin. He's the reason why I went to Twitch.
Didn't Biden get accused of something? Not a child.
Actually,
not an underage person.
Inspired me to even start going on Twitch, even though I haven't been doing that lately. I'll get back on to live streams eventually, you know, but that's neither here nor there. Point is, Hashinshin was revealed to have chatted with a 15-year-old League player by the name of Callus, I believe, or so. Her real name's Maya. He was talking to Maya when she was 15. He admitted to that. And there was another girl named Vicky he began talking to when she was 16. But as she got older, back around 18, they started.
Yeah, Biden's creepy and he gets touchy and gross, but he's not like a pedophile to any evidence that I'm aware of.
Chatting again, or at the very least from the logs, they talked to a point where she became 18 at the very least. A lot of screen captures, a lot of screens and whatnot. There was one catfish named Key, which was clear entrapment. Because it's entrapment, I'm just, you know,
I'm not a pedophile. You entrapped me into asking for pics. What? No, that's not how this works. I'll tell you what. 9 times out of 10 when someone says something is entrapment, it's not entrapment. Entrapment is a very specific thing within the law. Entrapment means the police are basically goading you into doing something that you wouldn't normally do. Very rarely is that the case. Do you want Chud videos, or are you set for this stream? I mean, I'll take links. Even if I don't use them today, I'll save them for later.
I'm just going to dismiss it outright. There's a reason why To Catch a Predator has never convicted any of the predators they caught.
That's not because of entrapment concerns. It's very complicated. That has to do with perverted justice and the way they go about doing things. Perverted Justice being the organization that worked with To Catch a Predator, and they put on a lot of those shows. It's more complicated than that.
Because that's called entrapment. You can't purposefully do that. You can't purposely try to lead someone into a crime in order to try to convict them. That's just not how that works. There's a lot of flush, there's a lot of bullcrap going on between Hashinshin and his girlfriend, but the most important thing that I kind of want to like sharpen up and clear up to make a lot of sense is that people keep misusing the word pedophile as a weapon to hurt people and take things from people. Hashinshin has been banned from Twitch. Technically speaking, he did not actually infringe on any of Twitch's guidelines, which is...
I guarantee he did. I guarantee he did. I'm part of Twitch, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't think anyone's read the entirety of the Twitch user agreement. But for one thing, most most end user agreements from any company, from Google, if you're talking about YouTube, from Twitter, from Instagram, wherever, they say basically, we can end your account for any reason at any time, just to cover their butts. Even if there wasn't, I recently became a Twitch partner. There's a whole thing you gotta read for when you become a Twitch partner, and it's like, hey, here are the guidelines, here are the things that are okay, here are the things that aren't okay. If you are accused of committing a crime, especially using your position on the website in order to groom underage people, yeah, they can kick you the fuck off for that. Are you kidding? Like, this is like black and white. Like, this is not some like, I don't know. No. Twitch is completely in their rights to ban him for all of eternity.
Which is a strange ban, at least to me, because having conversations with 15-year to 16-year-old girls outside of the platform of Twitch, I don't remember that being in the Twitch terms and conditions. Perhaps that it is. Maybe I missed that part in the terms and conditions. But, you know, that doesn't make sense to me, to punish.
Let's take a look at the Twitch terms and conditions. Twitch partner terms of service. Prohibited conduct. Here we go. You agree not to violate any law, contract, intellectual property, or third-party right, not to commit a tort, and that you are solely responsible for your conduct while on Twitch services. The first line is you agree not to violate any law. Grooming minors is against the law. You agree that you will comply with these terms of service and Twitch's community guidelines and will not 1. Create, upload, transmit, distribute, or store any content that is inaccurate, unlawful, infringing, defamatory, obscene, pornographic, invasive of privacy or public rights, harassing, threatening, abusive, inflammatory, or otherwise objectionable. 2. Impersonate any person or entity, falsely claim an affiliation with any person or entity, access the Twitch service accounts of others without permission, forge another person's digital signature, blah, blah, blah. 3. Send junk mail. 4. Harvest or collect email addresses. 5. Defame, harass, abuse, threaten, or defraud users of the Twitch services, or collect or attempt to collect personal information about users or third parties without their consent. 6. Delete, remove, circumvent, disable, damage, or otherwise interfere with the security-related features on Twitch services of user content. 7. Reverse engineer, domicile, disassemble, or otherwise attempt to discover the source code, blah, blah, blah. Modify, adapt, translate, or create derivative work based upon Twitch services. Basically, you can't, like, steal their net code. Interfere with or damage the operations of the Twitch service. Reply email from a third-party mail service without the permission of the third party, blah, blah, blah. Attempt to circumvent, attempt to indicate in any manner without prior written permission that you have a relationship with us, use Twitch services for any illegal purposes. Use Twitch services for any illegal purposes in violation of any local, state, national, or international law or regulation, including without limitation laws governing intellectual property and other property rights. I would think using your platform on Twitch in order to find children to groom. Bingo, right there. You cannot use Twitch services for any illegal purposes. Using your Twitch platform to court children to groom is against the terms of service. And by the way, it's the first line too. You agree to not violate any law. Okay? Let me see if I can find also the for any reason clause. For any reason. Termination. To the fullest extent permitted by applicable law, Twitch reserves the right, without notice and in our sole discretion, to terminate your license to use the Twitch services, including to post user content and to block or prevent future access to and use of Twitch services, including where we reasonably consider that A, your use of Twitch services violates these terms of service or applicable law, B, you fraudulently use or misuse Twitch services, C, we are unable to continue providing Twitch services to you due to technical or legitimate business reasons. Our right to terminate your license includes the ability to terminate or to suspend your access to any any purchased products or services, including any subscriptions, Twitch Prime, or Turbo accounts. To the fullest extent permitted by applicable law, your only remedy with respect to any dissatisfaction with 1. The Twitch services, 2. Any terms of Twitch services, and 3. Any policy or practice of Twitch in operating the Twitch services, or 4. Any content or information transmitted through the Twitch services is to terminate your account and to discontinue use of any and all parts of Twitch services. So basically, you use Twitch to break the law. They can ban you. And that's what this Hashinshin guy did. Would have taken 5 seconds for this idiot to look this up. But he chose not to and instead decided to go on a rant about how he's going to defend a fucking pedophile. It would have taken no effort at all to not do this, and yet here we are.
Someone for what they did outside of Twitch, from Twitch. See, the point is, it's a weaponization. It's trying to hurt people. More than that, what's more important is people keep calling him a pedophile. That's just not the case. Now, why is this important? Again, you're weaponizing the word pedophile.
Is he a fan of the streamer and he's just standing them despite being a sexual predator? I don't even know if they're that big of a fan. I think they just like to defend pedophilia because they're afraid that the police are going to come in and find their lolly collection. Yes, I know lolly isn't technically illegal, or at least isn't enforced in most places. I'm just saying. I think people who aren't into children don't tend to feel the need to defend pedophiles. Just in my experience.
To hurt and attack and take things from people. When
did he say he was a fan? Perhaps.
Technically, just to be clear, I don't really think when he didn't was right. I really don't. Poor form on Senpai's part, talking or flirting with 15 to 16-year-old girls.
Did he just call him Senpai? Ugh.
Poor form, but it's not pedophilia specifically.
Let's look up the actual legal definition of pedophilia, shall we? Pedophilia legal definition. I wonder if I'm going to wind up on a list for searching this. An abnormal obsession with children as sex objects. A person who acts upon this obsession by molesting a child, taking explicit photographs, and performing other acts specified by law, such as grooming a child, is guilty of a crime. Someone who is underage is considered a child in the law. So yes, he is legally a pedophile. I'm sorry that that upsets you, but reality is what it is.
Let's break down why. He was not grooming, specifically. I keep seeing people say over and over again, he was grooming these girls. He was not grooming. I'll explain everything, and I'll explain, like, why.
He was, though. If you're an adult and you try and start a relationship with an underage person, you are grooming them. You're flirting with them, you're grooming them. Thank you to, the mannequin for following.
Why pedophilia is such a problem in general. As if people don't seem.
Is this a replay? No, this is live.
People seem to only kind of get caught on one element of pedophilia, but it goes a little bit deeper than that. I'm going to explain that, like, having an attraction, even though the correct word would be ephebophilia, to 15 to 16 girls.
He did it! He said the thing! He said the thing. Actually, since they were, post-pubescent, they, are an ephebophile, not a pedophile. No one cares! No one cares. Everyone knows what we mean when we say pedophile. He's a pedophile. He groomed children. They were underage. He's a pedophile. There is no law about ephebophilia. It's considered pedophilia in the eyes of the law, whether they're 4 or whether they're 15. Period. I don't want to hear your justification of like, well, at least he's not into like 5-year-olds. Okay, both are bad. I don't care which one you've subjectively decided is worse. They're both pedophilia. My goodness.
It's a lot more reasonable than pedophilia is, and this is bullshit. Okay, so let me explain first with this. Pedophilia is an attraction to prepubescent.
He's unironically gonna do this. He's unironically legit gonna do this. What the fuck?
Children. Okay, now homosexuals can also be pedophiles. I'm not sure.
What the fuck does this have to do with anything? What?
why that's not really addressed. Mostly it's because people want to defend homosexuals because they're sick of them being a minority class that's constantly being attacked.
Anyone can be a pedophile. No one is denying that. But if every time you bring up pedophilia, you go, did you know gay people can be pedophiles? It probably means you just don't like gay people. What are you talking about?
But it is important to highlight that, yes, homosexuals can also be pedophilic. So that's what
What the fuck is this guy's problem?
pedophilia is, an attraction or sexual attraction to prepubescent children. This is prior to them being able to have sex or have secondary sex characteristics, okay? It logically makes no sense. It's totally unreasonable for lots of different reasons, okay? But we'll...
Report. Harmful or dangerous acts? Nah, what would this be under? Repulsive content? Nah. Sexual content? No, what would this be under? I'm gonna go with that one. That'll do. Report! Hey, completely unrelated, here's the link to this video if you want it for some reason.
We'll save that conversation for another time. The mere fact alone that Hashinshin was flirting with the 15-year-old automatically it's not pedophilia. It doesn't really mean this is a hell of a lot. This it's just not even the same scope of an issue here, okay? Talking to a 15-year-old and abusing a child, they're not the same thing. Now, how do I...
Guess what? They're both illegal! You know! No, motherfucker! You are an adult! Speaking to a 15-year-old like that is fucked. It's fucked up. You are grooming an underage person. You are an adult. That is on you. No. Don't give me this, they weren't actually, 5, so no. 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 A 15-year-old does not have the maturity, does not have the self-actualization of an adult. They just don't. They cannot consent. You cannot try and get into a relationship with a child. That is grooming. They are a child. Like, they're 15.
I know this because 15-year-old people, they may not be the most intelligent individuals, but like, how old is 15 really? I'm not saying a person is as smart as they're gonna be at 15. That's not what I'm saying, man. What I am saying is 15 to me is how old enough to decide whether or not you want to talk to your favorite Twitch streamer, on Twitter. Like, that's to me.
We're not talking about talking to someone. There's no law against having interactions between teenagers and adults if you're just talking like normal human beings. I don't like to do it because, like, I don't get along with, younger people typically. I didn't even when I was a teenager. But, like, that's not what we're talking about. Stop equivocating. We're talking about Hashinshin sexualizing this underage girl and saying things about her butt, talking about, like, this weird daddy, big bro fetish he seems to have going on. This isn't talking. This is grooming.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Dude Spanking Dude says, It's also the power dynamic, the streamer using their fame, and the fact the person idolizes them to rope them in sexually is extra gross. Indeed. Exactly.
Like, if you can't make a decision like that by the time you're 15, then just give up, motherfucker, because life is way harder than...
Are you fucking serious? I wouldn't trust 15-year-old me to make any decision. Like, what? No. A 15-year-old cannot consent. I don't care about your stupid bullshit justifications. 15-year-olds cannot consent. Jesus Christ.
Than that, okay? You know, now obviously...
Again, if you want a link to this video for any reason, whatever that might be, hint hint, there it is.
I'm quoting Dave Chappelle word for word, because seriously...
Here's the comment I'm gonna leave. Found the pedo.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
If you're
Thank you to Spilt Coffee for following.
15 and you made it to Twitch, I'm sorry, if you made it to Twitch, I was correct there, and you made it to Twitter to talk to this person that you...
What do I think the age of consent should be? No lower than it is now.
look up to, and they're giving you the time of day. A lot of people are constantly referring to these girls as victims, that these girls were somehow victimized by Hashinshin, and I just can't really see a victim here. Even I'll throw up some of these messages here, and you'll find that, of course, this is poor form on Senpai's part. He should not. You
Stop calling him Senpai, you fucker. What are you doing?
shouldn't touch a 15-year-old.
Let's see what this says. Hey, I was asleep. Where that tight body at? At my bed now. Just woke up. Show me that body. I'm writing to you so slow. Ja, 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 ja. Yeah? And then there's a photo. Oh my god. So he's literally soliciting. He's grooming this girl, first of all, in order to get to this point. They clearly already have a relationship. Of some sort. Of course, this relationship can never be a real relationship, and it cannot be amicable, specifically because she's underage. This is grooming. He has asked for a photo, which would presumably constitute child pornography, solicited it from her, which she sent. This is multiple crimes. What are you talking about?
Year-old girl, specifically for this reason, but it is still important to note that what he's doing here is not grooming in the slightest, okay? Now, let me explain what grooming is in relation to pedophiles. Grooming is preparing a child for sexual intercourse, okay?
Yes, or sexual acts. Having someone sext you or send you photos can be constituted sexual acts under the law. That's reality. You don't have to literally molest someone or engage with physical sexual activities with them to have sexual activities occur. Sexting, phone sex, pictures, all sorts of stuff can count, right?
Okay. The thing about pedophiles is they don't normally jump out of the wilderness and grab children and just have sex with them. That's not normally what they do. One of the problems of it is the fact that it's usually they're trying to create a back catalog of favors, of objects and things and gifts given to the child in order to make the child feel like they owe something to that person, okay? So the pedophile gives children lots of different things.
Almost like someone being a successful League of Legends streamer, gaining a following, giving someone who is underage attention, which they feel is very validating because they're getting attention from someone they look up to, someone like on Twitch, this Hashinshin guy, and that's a reward for them. Sounds a lot like grooming.
Like babysitter, usually they have to be like babysitters or people that can constantly come into contact with the kid, because normally just random strangers, just not normally something you could really do reasonably. But the thing about grooming is pedophiles will also show children pornography and explain it to them in a reasonable or rational way in order to get the child to think that sexual intercourse between them and the adult is perfectly fine or okay. So that's what grooming is. It's preparing the child and convincing the child that sexual intercourse is okay.
Yeah, which is what Hashinshin did. And not just sexual intercourse, sexual activity, which can include, again, soliciting of child pornography from this underage girl, which we saw a screenshot of him doing. Him flirting with her, him discussing things with her and easing into the conversation where he's asking for photos, that's the grooming aspect. You don't literally have to have physical sexual intercourse with an underage person for sexual activities to have taken place. The transmission of child pornography is a crime in and of itself, on top of ownership of said pornography. He broke the law.
And creating a back catalog of gifts and favors to make the child feel like they have to trade in their sex in order to balance out what the pedophile has given them.
Again, like getting attention from a Twitch streamer that you have a lot of respect for, which is what's happening here. Rewards don't have to be physical gifts. It doesn't have to be as literal as, hey kid, I'll give you some candy if you do such and such thing, right? It can be like, oh wow, this Twitch streamer who's an adult and whom I respect on many, many levels and who I look up to is giving me attention, and not only giving me attention, but validating me and calling me attractive and saying that they want me and all sorts of things. Like, that's a reward. You're describing what Hashinshin did.
This is correct. This is what grooming is correctly, okay? Now,
a palate cleanser, yeah, I'll cue that up for after this. We definitely need to do a cleanse after this. This is sick.
There's plenty of reasons why this is heinous and why this is terrible. Okay, like destroying a child's ability to understand and use sex in its correct, natural, beautiful way between a male and a female is like the hallmark of evil. People's disdain for pedophilia is 100% correct when you look at it in its correct context. Now, a 15-year-old girl to a 16-year-old girl finding a streamer on the internet.
Let me see how old Hashinshin is. Hashinshin. H. Oh, he's 32! Jesus fucking Christ, he's 30! Oh god. Jesus effing Christ. Dude Spanking Dude says, on a side note, love how my mom says I need to eat healthy. She says as she fucking smokes. Yeah. Well. He's more opposed to gay people than actual pedophiles. Seems like it.
And then,
honestly, part of me was hoping he was at least just like 18 or something. Still not cool, because the rules apply equally to everyone, and even if you just turned 18, you're still an adult, and you get treated the same as someone who's, 40, 50. But this guy's fucking 30. He knows better.
Flirting with them and then talking sexually with them is not them being groomed. They already know what sex is. They came into the engagement.
Grooming doesn't necessarily mean that you're teaching someone what sex is. They can already know.
With here's a high status male, here's a guy that has status, here's one of my, I'm a fan of this guy, now I can get his attention. And that's the thing that really pisses me off about this shit, right? We're gonna sit here and pretend, like, Voyboy made his video. Some of my subscribers don't really know who Voyboy is, but Voyboy is like this, is for some reason like the patron saint of the League community, because I guess whenever he makes a video on his staircase, that means that he's got a point to say, but he really doesn't, because he's trying to sit here and say that we need to stand with these victims.
Yes.
Like, these girls are victims.
Yes.
Of
if a 30-year-old man talks to someone half his age and gets her to send him illicit pictures of themselves, the child is the victim because the adult has taken advantage of them.
of, first of all, because I've just clearly defined being groomed, that's just not what happened with them. But they're not victims in any case, in any sense of the word, because they knew exactly what they were doing.
No 15-year-old knows what the fuck they are doing in terms of this kind of thing. They barely hit puberty, most likely. They're fine. They do not know what they're doing, though. They don't. A 15-year-old cannot consent. Period.
Now, again, am I saying that it's okay to engage sexually with 15-year-old girls? Of course not. Now,
don't fucking say that when it's clear that that's what you're implying and saying. You're saying, oh, these 15-year-old girls knew what they were doing. A crime? They're helping this guy commit a crime and being victimized by him? No, that's not how any of this works. They are victims because he groomed them and got them to send him photos, which obviously no one should have. They are underage.
Personally have quite the disdain for them, being a substitute teacher for quite some time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should trust it when I say this. There's really no reason to engage with they're more of a burden than anything else. Don't look at my video as me trying to say what Senpai Hashinshin did was correct. He should not have touched these girls with a 39.5-foot pole. He shouldn't have, and everyone is correct there. But calling them victims is just not accurate. They knew what they were doing. They knew that they were engaging with a guy that had status, and they knew.
Wait, he said he was a teacher?
And everyone was correct. Don't look at my reason to engage with they're more of a burden than any. There's really, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should trust it when I say this. There's really no reason to engage with they're more of a burden than anything else. Don't look at my video as me trying to say what Senpai Hashinshin did was correct. He should not have touched these girls.
Right before this?
Like, you should trust it when I say this. There's really no, you know what I'm saying? Personally have quite the disdain to engage sexually with 15-year-old girls. Of course not. Now, I personally have quite the disdain for them, being a substitute teacher for quite some time.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Someone needs to send this to his school district. Let's do some investigation and find this guy. Does he have any socials that I can find? Let me see. Twitter. He's got a blogspot page. Fitness, philosophy, and martial arts blog focusing on creating functional strength and healthy mind. I'm going to be posting about the development of my exercise program, martial arts, and different philosophical topics to help you live a better life. He's a substitute teacher. I don't know if he has any, like, personal information somewhere. YouTube, Patreon. That's just the blogspot page. I'm gonna have to look into this later. Do I have his first and last name? No, I don't. Zers. Let me search that. Zers. It's a character from World of Warcraft, so that's where he's getting that. Media? Does he have anything in regard to, like... It's probably going to be boring, so I'll do this off stream to try and find where he's from. I also don't want to dox him to you guys, because that's against TOS, and I don't want to do that. But, like, someone needs to find out where the heck he is and send this to school districts around him, because that shit is not okay. Oh, did I accidentally exit out of the... Oh, no, I'm in a different tab. Did you guys know? I was looking at stuff, by the way. Yeah, His Twitter. I was looking at his Twitter already. You just couldn't see it because it was in a different tab.
Time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should trust it when I say this. There's really no reason to engage with the 50. Like, they're more of a burden than anything else. Don't look at my video as me trying to say what Senpai Hashinshin did was correct. He should not have touched these girls with a 39.5-foot pole. He shouldn't have. And everyone is correct there. But calling them victims...
Yeah, I'll update if I find it and I'm able to send.
Is just not accurate. They knew what they were doing. They knew that they were engaging with a guy that had status, and they knew that they could trade their sexuality in order to get attention. The problem, more than anything else, is the culture of trading sexuality for favors and attention, rather than using sexuality for its intended purpose of intimacy and bonding, and using it as a way in order to create more people.
You know where he lives? Goddamn, Baja, you're always so good at this. Fuck yeah, Baja Blast. That's my girlfriend.
That's the...
Yeah, probably find out where, if you can find out the schools he works at, or even just schools in his area, and send this video to them, that'd be great.
Biggest issue. The problem is the fact that women are recognizing I can trade sex for things.
How is she so good at this? Because she's just amazing.
That's what it is. It's women.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. He's gonna regret this fucking video. I'll tell you that much.
It's hyper attraction to status. That is the problem here. Because again, if we were to just take because the problem here is just it is a problem in and of itself that isn't really being highlighted. At least to me, that bothers me a lot. It's the fact.
No, please don't say it, Andrew Dickerson.
That high status males
will handle it.
Grab and like pick and choose girls. No one really finds that to be an issue. Okay, no one really says that it's an issue except women who have been.
Hold on.
I thought I had it all together, but I was led astray. The day you walked away, you were the clock that was ticking in my home. Changed my state of mind.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Love so hard to find.
we got him.
Picked and used by them. But the problem is women facilitate a system like this, quote unquote. Women are facilitating that having status makes it easier for males to have sex with them because women are trading their sex for it, okay?
Again, completely victim blaming, saying that it's the children's fault for being groomed by this 30-year-old man.
Now, again, am I saying that it was correct for him to flirt with these girls? No. But if you read these messages, you'll find that they're clearly engaged with him. Like, he's not trying very hard to really convince these girls to do anything they don't, like, want to do. Like, and even...
He's flirting with them. And when you flirt with an underage person, do you know what that's called? Grooming.
And the most he does when he even tries to convince them is, like, he'll bring it up, like, once or twice. And then, like, that'll be the end of it, and then he'll move on. Like, I'm reading all this stuff with, like, Maya. Maya is clearly, like, flirting back with him. Maya's clearly engaging back with him.
She's a child! She's 15! It's the adult's responsibility to know not to do this, and to get into this situation. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Look at all the pages where, like, he sexualizes her, and you see that, like, this is kind of like a game to her at the very, like the context here is not one of someone that's, like, terrified and scared and like doesn't understand what's going on and is being pressured, and like, that's not her. Like, Hashinshin's not offering her anything. He's not bolstering her career. He's just talking to her. That's the most of it. Should he have been talking to her? I don't really think so. Is this the most egregious thing anyone has ever done? Like, I don't know. Not even in the bloody slightest. Like I said, the biggest issue here is the fact that it can be misconstrued as pedophilia because she's a minor, and people don't understand what pedophilia is. So the real issue here isn't what he actually did, but the fact that it can create this situation.
No, the story is what he did, which was a crime. I wouldn't be surprised if he's actively being investigated for this shit at this point. There's tons of evidence. You, as an adult, do not have the right to try and seduce underage people. You do not get to flirt with a child. And you cannot blame the child when they're getting attention from someone who they respect and look up to. It's on the adult. It's the adult's responsibility to know better and to not commit fucking crime.
Excuse me. Where people are not understanding correctly, like, the issues and the problems here of, like, this culture. Again, do not misunderstand me. I'm not saying that what he did was fine when he was talking to, like, Vicky. He got a couple of pictures from Vicky, I believe. I don't really know the nature of those pictures, because I imagine if those pictures were of the nudie variety, Vicky technically is a criminal, because, like, even if a 17-year-old girl were to send naked pictures, she has created child pornography. Like, she is a criminal. If she distributes it, she's distributing child pornography. She is a criminal, technically, by the law. Now, I don't really know who's going to prosecute her for that, but technically speaking, like, that's a whole legal issue.
If an adult is soliciting that from them, then they are culpable, which we saw in the receipts Hashinshin do.
Like, right there, like, the whole training of it all. It's its own thing. But my point is, if Hashinshin has done all these different illegal things, then where are the lawyers? Where are the police?
They're probably going to investigate him.
The people trying to get him.
The law takes a while. As far as I know, this is a relatively recent thing that's come out.
Out of here. Like I said, where's the police? You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is what really bothers me about like Me Too as a whole thing. I mean, they didn't really use the whole Me Too moniker, but you know, you guys understand colloquially what Me Tooing is.
When people get what's coming to them because they've gotten away with sexually assaulting people for a long time, but now there's a social movement to stop that by speaking up about being abused. Yeah, that's what that term means, not whatever derogatory bullshit your weird incel brain has come up with.
What pisses me off the most is the fact that they keep weaponizing these different things to, like, attack people who, like I said...
Won't someone think of the pedophiles? No.
Hashinshin certainly didn't do the right thing, but he's not a pedophile. This is just...
He is. He engaged in sexual conversations and solicited pictures from minors. That's pedophilia.
Not the correct thing to label him as. It's not the correct...
It's literally what the law is that he would be charged with. There is no ephibophile law. There are laws on pedophilia, however, and if you are engaging in sexual conduct with a minor, that's what you're getting charged under. Stop with all this actually bullshit. Stop equivocating. Pedophiles are fucking pedophiles. I don't care if you're into 5-year-olds or 14-year-olds. You're into children. It's fucked up. Stop it.
Thing to put on him, and the response, I think, is just way out of proportion. There's a lot more issues here, especially, like, there's one act of extortion that this young lady Karina tried to do on Hashinshin, which for some reason is glossed over. I don't even understand why this woman would even show these screenshots of...
Let's see. Katrina says, because you should not be talking to underage girls in that manner. True. Hashinshin says, yes, I agree, and I've apologized. I've made amends, and I've bettered myself in so many ways. Bullshit. Bullshit. Being a pedophile is not something you just one day go and, you know, I've decided to better myself. I'm not gonna solicit pornography from underage girls anymore. Karina says, CNA, you make amends by giving me money, please. I am asking nicely. Hashinshin says, depends. Karina says, on what? Hashinshin says, well, are you actually going to consider it amends? Are you actually going to stop telling Ali I'm a pedo? Are you going to back me up? Bruh, I'm not going around saying you're a pedo. I don't even care. then fucking back me up. And she says, okay, give me money. Sounds like she's desperate for some money, unfortunately.
For extorting Hashinshin as if this makes her look virtuous or reasonable in any capacity. Like I said, at one point it was just straight entrapment with the key catfish.
I don't think he knows what entrapment even means.
Listen, I'm not saying Hashinshin made the right choices.
No one, the police or some private organization were not involved in this. No one was like, we're going to get underage girls to engage with him online, so he will... No, that's not what happened at all. Presumably, at some point, these girls tweeted at him or DM'd him or something on some app, I don't know, and he engaged with them, flirted with them, groomed them, solicited pictures from them, and said sexual things to them. That's not entrapment. That's just a crime. And by the way, Hashinshin, or not Hashinshin, sorry. By the way, Bass FZZ, whatever the fuck your name is. How can there be entrapment if there's not a crime? You're simultaneously saying he didn't do anything wrong and saying this is entrapment. Which is it? Because it can't be entrapment if a crime wasn't committed.
Just here and everywhere. He really didn't. Once again, just to be clear so no one hits me with this nonsense, I'm not saying that he should have talked to these girls when they were 15. He should not have. But what I am saying is it's not pedophilia. That's not what happened. That's not correct. You can't put that on him. That's not the... And again, one of the bigger issues that I'm noticing, especially if you go on TikTok, you're going to find lots of young girls blasting the internet with a lot of sex and sexuality. These girls come to the internet knowing what sex is, knowing the response they're going to get, knowing all these things. There's this one I could find off the top of my head.
Of course you have something off the top of your head of underage girls ready. It's just not even right. I'll just post, like, you're gonna be really uncomfortable with this, but the irony is she's the one posting it. I'm just commenting on it. If I comment on it, I look like there's something wrong with me for recognizing reality, which is one of the biggest issues with this conversation, is that a male looks strange if he comments upon one. It's just told us, and then she admits when she was 16 that she wanted him the whole time. Like, she knew what she was doing. Like, it's... Stop victim blaming.
They know. Again, do they have the wisdom to use their sexuality correctly? Not at all. In fact, very many adult women don't. This is an issue of just females in general, and it's really bad for young ladies.
Have we reported him? I think Baha has the information. So either she'll do that, or I'll get the information from her and do it later.
Really bad for teenagers. But that's a problem. Like, that's the issue. It's the fact that you've got kids, teenagers, recognizing that they can be sexual on the internet and get stuff out of it.
Thanks, Twitch encouragement.
And they're not using it correctly. But it is inaccurate to call that pedophilia. It's not pedophilia, and it's not
Blast
grooming.
Is working on reporting
there's multiple different problems here, but misconstruing it as pedophilia just kind of creates a whole smokescreen.
It's not misconstruing. It's an accurate representation of what's going on. Hashinshin got what was coming to him, and he hasn't even been, like, criminally charged at this point, which he may be. Who knows? But at minimum, I'm glad his career is over. He's used his platform to get to underage girls and groom them and illicit pictures from them. He deserves to have his career destroyed, because clearly he's wielded it like a weapon to target young women, and it's fucked up.
Where people aren't seeing what the real evil of being a pedophile is. The real evil of being a pedophile is corrupting the innocence of a child who has done nothing wrong. It's totally destroying their life and making it so that they can't even...
Can I post the video in chat? I sure can. For whatever reason you might have.
Use sex correctly anymore. People keep using sex like it's a toy, like it's just something to make you feel good. But there's more to it than that, and that gets obliterated when a child is groomed by a real pedophile, by a babysitter that was supposed to, like by people that they're supposed to look up to. See, and of course people are trying to misconstrue that like Hashinshin being a streamer on the internet is one of those people these girls look up to. They didn't look up to him as some kind of role model. Like I'm the person who looked up to Hashinshin and enjoyed his content and just like enjoyed how fantastic he was with Aatrox. Like that was me. I looked up to him. I aspired to mirror the outplays he could do with the champion Aatrox. That's me looking up to him. These girls weren't looking up to Hashinshin trying to say, well, let me see how I can be a better player and emulate his abilities and whatnot. No, they wanted some penis. They wanted...
Fuck you! They're children. I don't care if some underage person has a crush on an adult. That happens. It's the responsibility of the adult, because they are the adult, to know better and shut that shit down. If there is an underage person who happens to have a crush on you, and they come to you, and it's clear that they're trying to get close to you because they have a crush on you, it is on you as an adult to shut that shit down. Period. And if anything continues of that interaction, if you not only encourage it, but flirt and solicit images from that person, you are a pedophile, you are grooming them, and you deserve to be fucking arrested.
Some sexual attention. You could tell by the fact that they were flirting with them, and you can see in all of the screenshots that they themselves provided. Again, am I saying he should have engaged with them? No, of course not. Never should you engage with a 15-year-old to a 16-year-old on the internet. But it's ridiculous to pretend that they're not blasting the internet out with sex and sexuality.
You're an adult. It's your job to be like, that's fucking weird. Not engaging with this. If you instead decide, alright, I'm in on this, then that's on you. You're the adult. That's a responsibility. You have a responsibility as an adult to follow the law. Ideally, you have a moral system that already tells you that it's wrong to engage with someone half your age in that way. But even if you don't for some reason, you have the responsibility to act in a way that is legal. And engaging with this shit, grooming young people, children, is illegal. Period.
They are. They are. That's a problem unto itself. And it's even more ridiculous is to say that having an attraction to them when they look like adult women somehow means that as a male you're a pedophile and there's something wrong with you. That's just incorrect. That's not true. And the problem here is this is where it becomes really heinous. The problem here is now the actual pedophiles who refer to themselves as maps or minors.
Wait, 1 second. She's gonna tell me something, I assume. That's like some digital Sherlock Holmes shit. You're so good at this. Yes, please take a bow. God damn, she's good. No one cross Baja Blast. She'll find you in like 20 minutes. Jesus fucking Christ.
Or attractive people now have a leg to stand on, right? Because if we call all of...
Look at the comments. I'll look at them after the video.
This crap pedophilia now they can argue, well, wait, hold on. Those minors, when they're 15, 16, well, they look like adult women. Well, I should be okay with being with... And it's like, no. Because that's not what we're fucking talking about. That's not what the word means. And it's creating a smoke screen that's gonna have
What
to make
happened,
it so that
Baja was just telling me basically how she found this guy, where he lives, his name, and she's gonna find his teaching certificate, the districts he's certified in, and forward this video with an email to those districts. So, hopefully, he will be removed post-haste.
people like me who are reasonable and logical are like, no, dude, like, you have to use words correctly.
Yes, he's a teacher. He's a substitute teacher.
You have to have an understanding of concepts correctly to
We
address
need
the
like a hacker Baja emote.
problems that are happening. And addressing the problems that are happening is that 15-year-old girls to 16 to 17 blasting the internet with sexy pictures and sexy imagery and twerking is its own can of worms, okay? Again, a whole video just needs to be made of that one. But anyone indulging in that, they're not pedophiles. It's not pedophilia. That's not what that word
It is. It is. Legally, it is.
means, especially if that person views them as an adult. Because biologically, that's what their brain is seeing.
Okay.
So this isn't related to hacking, or not hacking, but like knowing the system and how to find things. But I have gotten a substitute teacher fired before. When I was in high school, we had a substitute, and they were a long-term sub because the teacher was on maternity leave. And it was a science and society class. So we were basically supposed to be learning science in relation to how society developed. And he decided to go around the room at some point during the class and ask every single person to say how they thought the universe was created. And everyone except for me and my best friend said God. And me and my best friend said the Big Bang. And I was fucking livid because his response was, and I quote, I still remember this to this day, actually, there's a lot more evidence for creationism. I stood up, went to the principal, and got him fired. Another fun fact, a year later, after I had graduated, my brother got a substitute teacher fired because they were, my brother and I, we grew up in a very, like in an inner city school district in Flint, Michigan, so there was a ton of diversity. Most of the time I was the only white kid in my classes, and that was perfectly fine for me, and I enjoyed it. Then my parents took us and put us in the whitest, most Christian community for high school that you could possibly imagine. It was a small town. There were like 5 churches in this town of 1,000 people. It was ridiculous. So most kids in this school had never seen a black person for sure. So the substitute teacher was basically calling black people the N-word and saying a bunch of racist-ass bullshit. And my brother also got up, went out of class, and got that teacher fired. So, just, you know, I'm gonna try my best. If, you know, worst comes to worst, if I can't find what district he specifically substitutes in, I'm just gonna send it to all of them. All right. Love you, chat.
You're wonderful.
You're a sweetie. You got something on your eye.
Thank you. Love you too.
A pedophile is someone that wants a prepubescent child, okay? Prepubescent. Homosexuals can also...
Why does he keep bringing this up? Why keep demonizing gay people when you're talking about pedophilia? I'd imagine most pedophiles are straight, because most people are straight.
be pedophiles. That's another important thing that people just want to scare away. Okay? That's what pedophilia is. Alright? What Hashinshin did was wrong. He should not have done it. I agree with everyone who's saying he should not have. Calling these girls victims, is a joke. It's a fucking joke. Okay? It's a fucking joke. It's a hilarious joke. Read this stuff. Calling them victims of what? Victims of flirting with the Twitch streamer that they wanted? Like, come on. No. He didn't take advantage of them. He didn't hurt them. He didn't take anything from them. He asked for pictures. Okay? Now, the nature of these pictures. I don't know if they're nudies. If they're nudies, then we need to talk about...
They are. He solicited child pornography from underage girls he groomed. That's multiple felonies.
That doesn't seem to be the case, but they willingly did it, okay? Should they have been wiser? Should he have been wiser? Yes, no one's wrong there. But one more time, that's not pedophilia. With that being said, I'm certainly hope you guys got something out of today's video. You probably didn't, but if you did, man, go and click the like button. Just shoot, go and click that subscribe button.
We're about to end this man's whole career. Unironically. Fuck this guy.
So...
Fuck this guy. Oh, did he already delete my comment? Let me see. Maybe it's just under newest. Oh, wow. That took him 10 whole minutes to delete my comment calling him a pedo. What a shock. So shocked. Anyway, so that's this shitbag. His YouTube channel is this, if you wanted to find that video at any